the FOX5 studios. This is the RebZone Sports Show, sponsored by Flowing Tide Pub.
You know, it's the sports capital of the world right now. You and I have talked about that, and the interest in sports is as high as I would assume, as it's ever been, certainly since my family moved here. And so people are getting out and supporting sports teams and sports programs, and to have some confidence and be playing well right now, going into the final stretch is just it's just fun to be a part of.
We love the kids on the RebZone. Luis Rodriguez for the kids. We got a big win to break down on the RebZone. UNLV knocked off 22nd ranked Colorado State last night, 66-60, making that their 7th win in the last 8 games and their 3rd win this season over a ranked opponent. And speaking of winning, hey, the Lady Rebels made history last night, clinching their 3rd straight Mountain West regular season title for the first time in program history with a 31-point win over UNR. How about that? Give it up for the back-to-back champions that'll be joining us on the RebZone tonight. And hey, speaking of women in sports, this is the woman who does it all in the Mountain West, covering every single sport in this league. Bridget Howard gives us an exclusive tour of the Mountain West Network and shares her thoughts on covering her 5th Mountain West tournament in the sports capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome into the RebZone. It's truly an honor to be a sports reporter in the hottest sports city in the world, covering the best basketball talent in the world right here in Las Vegas, with Las Vegas natives leading the way for the Runnin Rebels and Lady Rebels. Truly special to have head coach Kevin Kruger in studio with us tonight. And we got a big show tonight, Coach, but talk about the momentum your team is feeling, winning 7 of your last 8 games. Yeah,
just have really been playing well, feeling good, confident. A lot of great practices, going into games with the right intent, taking what we're working on the days prior from start to finish, and we've really just played a lot of really good basketball since the kind of late December, really. Yeah, we have 2 big wins to break down against Colorado State and Air Force, but you told me last night you had goosebumps on the sideline with the crowd and the energy in the Thomas and Mack last night. How did the crowd help you guys land on top? Oh, it was just, I mean, they're vital. You know, any environment and atmosphere in college sports is led by the crowd. And, you know, we had a great crowd against Reno, but the city and the fan base backed it up with another great crowd last night, and undoubtedly, I think helped the guys get over the hump last night. Yeah, the Thomas and Mack was rocking last night, and that's what we want to see every home game as we wind down conference play, taking a look at the last 4 conference games left for UNLV. On the road at Wyoming on Tuesday night, a home game on San Jose State, San Diego State at home as well, and wrapping up the regular season on the road at UNR. Coach, we got 4 last big games left in conference play. What do you want to see from your guys and the toughness you want to see closing out conference just to play? Continue, really, what they're doing, working hard, playing well together. Again, another little setback with an injury, but it's nothing these guys aren't used to. They've been doing that, going through that all year and figuring out how to get it done. So just to continue working for each other, playing for each other. Yeah, this team is so tough, playing in one of the most physical leagues in the country, the Mountain West. Well, let's check out the highlights from last night's thriller at the Thomas and Mack.
It was a big matchup at the Thomas and Mack. The Rebels looking to come out on top against 22nd ranked Colorado State. UNLV dropped a nail-biter on the road in Fort Collins, 78-75 on January 19th. DJ Thomas scores the first 5 points for UNLV. The Rebels trail CSU 8-5 out the gate. Rob Whaley Jr. just heating up on his home court. Rebels trail the Rams 10-7. Rams keep pressing in the first half. Isaiah Stevens to Jalen Lake for 3. The Rams take a 10-point lead over the Rebels. But welcome to the Rob Whaley Jr. dunk show at the Thomas and Mack. The crowd goes wild for number 5. UNLV trails CSU 21-19. The Rams would capitalize on the Rebels' mistakes. A turnover by Whaley Jr. leads to Nick Clifford knocking down a three. The Rams take a 26-24 lead at the half. Second half, here comes Jackie Johnson, the third. From deep, huge three for UNLV, jumping in front over the Rams. Keelan Boone knocks down back-to-back threes for UNLV, and the Rebels keep their foot on the gas, leading 52-49. DJ Thomas dropped 23 on the Rams at the Thomas and Mack. UNLV still leading 56-54 down the stretch. DJ Thomas would ice the game with two made free throws. UNLV up 66-60 with 8 seconds to play. Final seconds on the clock. Isaiah Stevens throws it up for three. No good. Rams one more time from deep, and that's ball game. UNLV wins 2 in a row, knocking off 22nd ranked Colorado State 66-60.
You know, the biggest focus was Stevens, obviously. So on every ball screen, it was, you know, they're telling the bigs, guard him like, you know, you're guarding him. You know, don't guard it like you're trying to get back to the big. Guard him like you're guarding him. So that was the biggest focus, just making sure that we limit his shot attempts.
We were just more mentally prepared for this game, especially in the end of the game. We knew it was going to be a tough game. It just came down to making free throws and getting stops and getting clean rebounds, which we didn't do in the last game. So I think that was the difference tonight.
Vegas, this has to be the best freshman in the country right now. DJ Thomas, just 18 years old, a Las Vegas native. Perfect from the free throw line last night. 23 points, scoring 18 of those points in the second half. What did you see in the second half from DJ to put you guys on top?
Just toughness, you know, something he's been doing all year, just getting into the paint, making big shots, taking care of the ball. But really at the end of the game, you know, him and Lou to go perfect from the free throw line. It's the difference between winning and losing games, especially tight games like we had last night.
Talk about the way your team came out for this game. DJ mentioned the mental preparedness for taking on Colorado State, a really good defensive team. Talk about how your team approached this matchup.
I thought we had a good 2 days of prep for Colorado State. We didn't open the game exactly like we wanted to, but I think once we settled down and realized what our objectives were and how we wanted to get those objectives accomplished, we did a pretty good job. It was a pretty good 35 or so minutes of basketball for us. We got a little bit of a slow start offensively, but really the second half and the last part of the first half were pretty good for us.
What are you seeing down the stretch from your team as of late, executing down the stretch?
Just working to make it work for each other, really. Just understanding where they need to be, how they need to make someone else's job easier, what plays they can make for each other, and it's just kind of opening everything up. And again, going down and making free throws, taking care of the ball at the end of games, that's always going to be the biggest difference.
Oh, it was rocking at the Thomas and Mack last night. UNLV has 2 more home games in the regular season. Vegas, you need to come out for every single one of those. Well, we packed our bags with the Runnin Rebels this week out to Colorado Springs. The Rebels put up a 29-point win at Air Force. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction from the Air Force Academy coming up next. And the Lady Rebels have clinched their 3rd straight Mountain West regular season title with a 98-67 win on the road in Reno last night. We'll have highlights and hear more from the back-to-back-to-back champs coming up next on the RebZone.
Out to the Air Force Academy we go. The Falcons headed into this matchup with only 1 conference win this season, a 32-point win over the Runnin Rebels at the Thomas and Mack. UNLV ready to come out with a fight, and yeah, you can always count on Rob Whaley Jr. to bring the energy early for the Runnin Rebels. Whaley Jr. scores the first bucket of the night for the Scarlet and Gray. The Rebels are rolling at Air Force. Man, the over-the-head no-look pass from Rob Whaley Jr. to Caleb Boone is too smooth. Highlight of the night for UNLV. Rebels jump in front 4-3. Keelan Boone pulls up from deep. Boone dropped 11 points on the road, finishing 5 of 7 from the floor. The Rebels extend their lead 27-16. DJ Thomas doing what he does best, attacking the rim. UNLV up 37-24 over Air Force at the half. The Rebels keep up the fight in the second half. Rob Whaley Jr. looking like a football player out there, gets the bucket and one. Whaley Jr. and his guys dominating Air Force 44-28. Jackie Johnson was doing a lot of this on Wednesday night, showing off his moves in the paint. UNLV up 24 in the second half. It's a blowout at the Academy. UNLV dominates Air Force, jumping back in the win column 72-43.
We were just active. I mean, we came together as a team defensively. We were way better compared to the first time we played them. We were more in sync. just played together. Me, KB, Key, we met together and was like, we need to be physical. We need to get on the glass more, get more rebounds, because we can't get out-rebounded by 20 like we did last game. So we got on the glass this game. Physicality started with us. We just kept it moving throughout the whole game.
Big win for the Runnin Rebels on the road this week at Air Force, putting up a 29-point win over the Falcons. And this is the Rob Whaley show here on Fox 5. But Coach, he almost posted a double-double, 15.7 rebounds. But what did you see from Rob Whaley and his physicality with you guys week in and week out?
He's done that. He's brought an element of physicality to this team, and that we needed and we need. And it's something that, you know, everyone's got their role and what they can do to help. And one of Rob's biggest strengths is just being physical and being a presence down around the rim.
You guys are coming off the UNR loss. It's a 9 p.m. tip-off. It's a late game. What focus and execution did you see from your team on the road?
I just think the guys were ready. They were really kind of just looking forward to getting out there and playing. They executed about as perfect as I think we could have. It was a late tip. It was a little bit unique, but went out and just had a lot of energy from the start.
Yeah, 2 big wins for the Runnin Rebels this week on the road at Air Force and knocking off 22nd ranked Colorado State last night. Well, we got some history to share on the RebZone tonight. For the first time in program history, the Lady Rebels have clinched 3 straight regular season Mountain West titles. And UNLV dominated UNR on the road last night, posting a 31-point win on the Wolfpack. Desiree Young recorded her 47th career double-double, posting 17 points and grabbing 10 rebounds last night at UNR. She made history in this game, becoming UNLV's second all-time leading scorer with 1,908 career points. Her teammate Kiara Jackson has shined this season as well. The junior guard posted 18 on the road, helping her Lady Rebels win their 9th straight Mountain West game and 3rd straight regular season title.
Super hungry. This is what we do. We win championships. We're a championship team. We're back-to-back regular season champions. So this is just what we do. We enjoy winning. You know, we'll take the L's. Those are lessons to us, but we're going to keep pounding it.
To go back to back, like, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of that coming in as a freshman. Like, it's just so amazing. Yeah, I mean, like you said, job's not done. We got 3 more games left. We want to win those, and then we got the tournament coming up. And, I mean, we definitely want to go further in the NCAA tournament this year, so that's what we're going to continue to work at.
Welcome back to the RebZone. The Runnin Rebels have won 7 of their last 8 games, knocking off 22nd ranked Colorado State last night in a rockin' Thomas and Mack. This season on the RebZone, we've had the chance to get to know the Runnin Rebels assistant coaches John Cooper and Barrett Peary. Tonight, we're sitting down with Jamal Williams, who's had a unique path to UNLV.
You know what, for me, it's very different from everybody else. That was a long journey. I've done everything from coaching the lowest level of high school basketball to the highest level of local high school basketball to the low level AAU basketball to the highest level of AAU basketball. And I went through that journey about 10, 11 years before I even got an opportunity to coach in college. And so with that, being able to coach guys like Paolo Banchero, Jaden McDaniels, Jalen Noel, Marjon Beauchamp, Tari Eason, NBA guys, and McDonald's American, Michael Porter Jr. was another kid that I coached in high school. It allowed me to be able to build relationships that kind of translated to people knowing me and recognizing my work and provide this opportunity for me to be able to be a college basketball coach. I think the journey and what I want to do started in college, playing at the University of Washington, playing under Lorenzo Romar, I knew then that I was going to coach someday. Didn't know what the timeline was going to be, but I knew once I got done playing, like, coaching was going to be my calling. And it kind of manifested that over time.
After his success at the University of Washington, Coach Williams played basketball professionally, not only in Europe, but all across the world.
I think every place had its own experience, but I always approached it with the thought and the mindset of, like, learning a new culture and then trying to adapt as best I can to that culture. Playing in Italy, France, Argentina, Iceland, Israel, and the Philippines, I like to say that those are places that I can go and have friends there, because I feel like I built good relationships and I still maintain. Social media allows you to maintain relationships with people from all over the world. And so I have a lot of those friends on Facebook that still are in contact with me, or they come stateside, they always reach out. And so being able to just kind of see different cultures, expose different people, and see different lifestyles, and really allows you to appreciate, the life that I have here in the U.S. and also enjoy what other people are doing across the world.
From growing up playing ball in his hometown of Corona, California, to playing across the world, to going on to coach 23 players who went on to compete at the D1 level, along with 4 McDonald's All-Americans and 6 current NBA players, Coach Williams has advice to share for young basketball coaches.
Always develop, right? The game is always changing. Forever be a student of it and be willing to learn, understand different concepts, and see where the game is growing. I think with everything, a journey I've stopped and that I've made in my career path, from coaching JV basketball to varsity basketball to small AU to big AU, it was always a learning curve, and there's some things I had to pick up and be flexible with how the game was changing. And so as you continue to learn and grow, take your time and imagine things, draw on a board, be able to carry it over, because the biggest thing is teaching. And you got to be able to go and understand how to communicate what's in your mind to your players so they understand what you're trying to explain and what you're asking them to do.
What is so special about UNLV, about Las Vegas?
The best thing about UNLV is, the community, right? All the people that come out to support, the facilities and things that we have here. Having Mendenhall as a place of practice is one of a kind, and it's just a great benefit for us to be able to have our guys be able to continue to work and improve in here. And then, just overall, the school, the support, the administration have been great. Everybody's so friendly. You get here and, I'm they don't let me be quiet. I'm kind of the quiet guy, I stay in my own little lane, but everybody makes sure they speak and make me go, hey, you gotta acknowledge me and speak up. So I've enjoyed getting to know people and building relationships, and I think that when it's all said and done, when I am done coaching and where it is, I feel like Vegas will be home for me and my family.
Coach, loved sitting down with Coach Williams. How has he elevated your program?
Oh, he's just a great basketball mind. He's a great person to be around. He enjoys coming to work every day, and we just all have a good time working, and he's just another great piece of this program.
Yeah, it's awesome to be on the road with the Runnin Rebels and really get to know all of the coaches. UNLV has a big one on the road at Wyoming on Tuesday night, and FOX5 was also on the road in Colorado Springs this week. We got an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of the Mountain West Network. We'll hear more from Mountain West reporter Bridget Howard and her thoughts on covering her 5th Mountain West men's and women's basketball championship here in Las Vegas. The RebZone continues after the break. Bridget, thank you so much for having us. It's amazing to be here in Colorado Springs. I'm so happy I got to stop by, but really want to get to know about your day-to-day with Mountain West.
Yeah, so first off, thanks for having me. It's definitely different being on this side of the interview. Normally I'm in charge of it, and so it feels a little different. But yeah, the Mountain West, my role, I started back here in 2020, went through COVID and then got hired back in 2021. But the day-to-day, it's different, right? Every single day. Mondays, it's Players of the Week, getting ready with women's basketball, or in the fall, it's, football and volleyball. And then, we kind of just target whatever storylines are happening that week. This past week, I did a feature on Fresno State's Jamie White. She just surpassed 100 career Mountain West wins. She's the first active female head coach in the Mountain West to do that. So it kind of just changes every week, but we normally target some feature stories, and then I also host a podcast, and so we'll sometimes do a podcast, but yeah, it's kind of just reacting or anticipating certain things that will pop up throughout the week.
Bridget, what I really respect is your work ethic. Whether you're in Las Vegas or here in Colorado Springs, I see you working really hard, and sometimes you're the only woman in the room or at the games and in the locker rooms. I know you mentioned that you really have been highlighting women in sports. Talk to me about that recently.
Yeah, so back in 2021, we launched a campaign. It was a hashtag campaign, and it's Making Her Mark. And it was really important to us, and especially it has continued to be important to us, is highlighting the achievements of Mountain West women and alumni from the Mountain West, right? And so we started the campaign back in 2021 and have done numerous features highlighting accomplished women in the Mountain West. And we also do a Making Her Mark monthly. So every month I will highlight all the great achievements that Mountain West women have been up to, whether it's current student athletes or alumni, like I mentioned. And so it was really important to us. And we also started that a year before the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and a lot of campaigns started that year, but again, it just goes to show the commitment that the Mountain West has to women empowerment and our female student athletes, and how much they mean to us, right? And I take a lot of pride in knowing that, that's my project. That's what I love. You know, we make stickers and give them to our student athletes. We've made t-shirts and give them to them. Like, it's such an important part of what we do. And so to be able to be a part of this Making Her Mark campaign and to have continued now into, you know, this 3rd year, I mean, it's incredible. And I'm super, super grateful that I get to do it.
Well, there's a lot of young women in Vegas looking up to you. But speaking of Vegas, you're there almost every month, I think, with the Mountain West tournament coming up for the men's and women's basketball. But what do you love about Las Vegas?
Well, one, I love that there is a direct nonstop flight from Colorado Springs to Las Vegas. We love that. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, Vegas means so much to the Mountain West. We were one of the first conferences to have our men's and women's basketball championship at the same location in the same week. And so I think, you know, Mountain West fans love Las Vegas. We love Las Vegas. And I think it's just a great spot for our conference. And not to mention, I mean, just the notoriety that it's getting right now, not only in the college sports scene, but in the pro sports scene. I mean, you saw how many people were there for the Super Bowl. You got to engage in all that fun with everyone. But I mean, it's a great spot. And I mean, it's growing so fast, as we've talked about.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in Vegas for the Mountain West tournament. Bridget is an all-star here with the Mountain West Network. Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Paloma.
Oh, great time taking over the Mountain West Network this week. Vegas, get ready. March Madness is right around the corner. Here's all the information for this year's tournament. We'll see you next Sunday on the RebZone.